What motivates me with the reciprocity project? Why do I keep going? Why do I keep doing this? And the fact is, I just say giddy up every day. And, I look to see at what I grew up with and what I had and my family had. We grew up, there was 6 kids. My family, my mom and my dad had one income, and they lived in a garage for a number of different years. My grandparents, my grandma was an orphan. My other grandparents, they immigrated from Poland, and they had nothing. And you know what they did every single day? They said, giddy up, let's get going, let's just tackle another day. And I think that's the only thing that you actually have. When you come from humble beginnings, which I think a lot of us are, right? I'm not saying that that is anything that's spectacularly different with me. I think I'm pretty normal with that. I grew up in a very normal family, lower middle class family. And you know what? Nobody even thought about getting an education. It was really strange. Getting a high school education was all that everybody sort of strives for. I just said, giddy up, let's get going. And all of my other siblings, they're doing amazing. And I think so highly of them. They're doing so incredibly well. And they did the exact same thing in their own way. They just said, giddy up, let's get going. I remember the one sort of image that I have in my head of my, of my grandpa, my grandpa on my sort of Polish side. I didn't know him that much. He passed away when I was really young, but the only thing that I remember is him working in the fields and planting the fields. He was like 90, I believe, 90 something. He was still out there planting in the fields. He just said, giddy up every single day. And I think that's the one thing that you got to remember, is that you just say, giddy up, let's go. The only thing that you actually have. You know what? I don't have a lot of spectacular wealth, or we didn't have a lot of spectacular wealth. We didn't have any of those family connections. That's the thing. When I started doing this reciprocity project, I realized that nobody knows who the heck I am. Maybe I went to I went to a good engineering school, the University of Waterloo, and a business school, the Ivy Business School, but absolutely nobody knew who I was. And, I was thinking about building this thing and helping out. And you think, like, how do you actually build a software where it helps out writing or helps out other people? And when you put this thing out, nothing happens. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens, because nobody knows who you are. You're not Bill Gates. You're not, Mark Zuckerberg or anything like that. And even then, it's a journey for those folks. But, what do you do? What do? You just say, giddy up and let's get going. And you just keep doing the same thing. And here's the thing, that whole platform that I'm building, still not a lot of people use it. And it'd be really awesome if lots of people would use it, but not a lot of people do. And guess what? What do I do if nobody's using it? I say, giddy up, let's go. Let's just keep going every single day. I'm going to put the work in, and I'm going to not stop. And, here's the thing. As this grows, and as maybe more people get to know who I am and what it's about, what I'm trying to do, there's going to be lots of people that don't care. Everybody's self-interested. You have to realize that. Nobody cares about you and what you're working on. That was a hard lesson for me to learn with this, is nobody cares. Not even the people that are closest to you. And you just got to step up and keep going. You say, giddy up. You use all the excuses under the moon to keep this thing going. And, that whole thing, the whole reciprocity project probably will flop. The platform itself will probably flop. But you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try. I'm going to be that weird, irrational, goofy person that just keeps trying every day. I feel bad many days, but you know what? I'm just going to try. And if I don't do that, who else is going to get this thing done? Who else is going to make this thing? When is it going to happen? I could sit there and rely or think about like how everybody else is going to solve this for me, or somebody else is going to do this, that somebody's going to speak out. But you know what? I realize that nobody else is doing this. Absolutely nobody. I look at all the stuff in terms of either, being helpful online, with PhD life or academic life or just life in general. A lot of it is like really down. And it's not all that fun, right? Or it's really serious. And that's not all that fun either. I find that stuff kind of boring after a while. And frankly, I can't sit there and be more studious as I've just sat in my office by myself and sat there for like 8 or 9 hours by myself, all by my lonesome. And I've done that every single day. That's what my work is. Lots of people don't realize that. That's what your work is as a professor, is you sit there by yourself, you don't talk to anybody, and it's very lonely. And I'm not going to do that in terms of me being more serious at the end of the day. So, there's nobody else that's going to do this. You just have to step up and keep going and keep repeating. And I think everybody can sort of think about that. There's something in their life that they want to do. And the only option that you actually have is just get out and keep repeating and keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And, it could be completely pointless. The whole thing could be completely pointless and a waste of time and nothing happening. But you just step up and you go. And at the end of you're 90 years old, you look back and you're like, well, that was a pointless endeavor. That was really dumb. Well, so what? What other options do you have? What do you know? What's going to be different? What's the alternative? I keep thinking about myself. How else do you get this done? What else do I do? Do I sit there in my office for longer and then, I feel depressed and probably eventually would want to do something that's not very great for myself, right? Do I keep doing that? Or that's not a very helpful alternative. I don't want to end up in a divorce. I don't want to, have a, feeling not so great about myself, right? For an extended period of my whole entire life. So that's not a very great option. So what do? Do I go and try to find fancy people and wealthy people to help me out? Well, you know what? Those people are self-interested too. They don't care about me. Why would I even pursue that particular thought? And frankly, I know a lot of people that have been trying to get wealth from very wealthy people and nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. So what do? What's the alternative? I get up and I keep repeating. I just keep doing the same thing every single day, keep working at it one little day at a time. And it gets a little better today, it gets a little better the next day, and a little better. And frankly, when it happens, when it gets a little better, you don't even notice it. It looks like it's the same damn thing every day. And it's only going up for little percentages, 0.5%, 1/4%. You don't even see anything happening, but you do it anyways. And you just keep doing it, repeating over and over and over again until you're 90 years old and you look back and you think, well, that was a dumb thing for me to actually do, but you did it anyways.